Welcome to Ayurveda by Dr. Rajeev, the science of life explained.
You ever feel like you're doing everything right, following all the latest health advice, but it's just not clicking? Well, today we're going to dive into Ayurveda. And look, we're not talking about it as some kind of mystical alternative thing. We're going to treat it as what it is, a surprisingly logical system for understanding your own personal health blueprint.
I mean, think about it. Keto, ice baths, intermittent fasting, we're constantly told there's one right way to be healthy. But what if the real secret isn't some universal rule? What if it's a deeply personal one that's actually been around for thousands of years? Now that is the core idea of Ayurveda we're going to unpack today. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the foundational principle of Ayurveda. Then we'll get to know the three life forces that are literally the building blocks of you. After that, we'll look at how they create your unique body constitution, explore the connection between the two, and, this is the big one, why knowing your personal blueprint matters. Ready? Let's get started.
Okay, first things first. We've got to get to the core idea that really everything else in Ayurveda is built on. It's this concept called the Tridosha Siddhanta. And I know that sounds complicated, but don't worry about the Sanskrit. I promise you, it's way simpler than it sounds.
So this is the key right here. Tridosha literally just means the three forces. The whole theory is that your body isn't just a machine with a bunch of separate parts. Instead, you should think of it like a dynamic ecosystem. And this ecosystem is run by three fundamental bioenergies that influence, well, everything, from how you digest your food to the kinds of thoughts you have. And I love this proverb because it just captures the essence of it so perfectly. See, Ayurveda doesn't see these three forces as something that's only inside of you. No, they're seen as fundamental energies of nature itself. So the very same forces that govern the sun, the moon, the air, the seasons, those are the exact same forces at play inside your own body. Kind of cool, right?
All right, so what exactly are these three life forces? Let's go ahead and meet the stars of the show, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. The best way to think about them is as the three main building blocks that combine in unique ways to create your specific physical and mental makeup.
First up, we've got Vata. This is the energy of movement. And when I say movement, I mean all movement. It's responsible for literally every single motion happening in your body right now, from the air you're breathing to the blood pumping through your veins, all the way down to the nerve signals firing in your brain. If it moves, you can bet Vata is the force behind it.
Now, since Vata is made up of the elements space and air, its qualities are pretty much what you'd expect. Think of the wind. It's dry, it's light, it's cold, it's mobile, and it can be a little rough. And this isn't just some abstract idea. People who have a lot of Vata energy tend to embody these qualities. They're often quick-thinking, super creative, and energetic, but they can also be prone to things like anxiety or dry skin when that energy gets a little out of whack.
Okay, next up is Pitta. This is the energy of transformation. A really easy way to think of it as your inner fire, or maybe your body's engine. Pitta is in charge of your digestion, your metabolism, and regulating your body temperature. It's the force that takes everything you bring in, not just food, but ideas and experiences too, and it breaks it all down, transforming it into energy you can actually use.
And since it's made from the elements of fire and water, Pitta's qualities are, again, exactly what you'd think: hot, sharp, a little oily, and intense. You can see this in people who have a strong Pitta nature. They're often super driven, really intelligent, and just natural-born leaders. But on the flip side, that inner fire, when it gets out of balance, can show up as things like impatience, anger, or even inflammation.
And finally, that brings us to Kapha. This is the energy of structure and lubrication. So if Vata is all about movement and Pitta is all about transformation, then Kapha is the actual physical substance that holds everything together. It's like the glue for your cells, the fluid that lubricates your joints. It's the solid, stable foundation of your whole body and even your immune system.
So Kapha is made up of earth and water, and its qualities are heavy, cold, soft, and super stable. Think grounded, steady. People who have a Kapha-dominant nature are often really calm, compassionate, and have these strong, sturdy builds. But you guessed it, when that stability gets out of balance, it can tip over into sluggishness, lethargy, or maybe even weight gain. Okay, this chart is a great way to see it all at a glance. But for me, this is where it gets really cool. Look at that modern analogy column. We can actually map these ancient ideas onto concepts we understand today. It's like Vata is the body's input and output system, all the signals coming in and out. Pitta is like the central processor, the CPU, doing all the work. And Kapha, that's the physical hardware and the storage. You see how they come together to form one complete functioning system? It's pretty amazing.
So, we've got these three fundamental forces, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. But here's where it gets really personal. How do they actually combine to make you, well, you? And that brings us to the whole idea of your unique body constitution.
Okay, this right here is your personal blueprint. In Ayurveda, the word for it is Prakriti, and all it means is the unique combination of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha that you were born with. A great way to think of it is like your body's factory settings or your biological blueprint. It's determined at conception, and it stays with you for your entire life. It's your fundamental nature. So how does this blueprint even get formed? Well, it happens right at the very beginning of your life. It's determined at fertilization, and it's based on the dominant doshas in your parents at that moment. It's even influenced by what your mother was eating and her environment while you were in the womb. All of this comes together to create your unique, unchanging constitution that stays with you for life. Pretty incredible.
Okay, so we've got the three doshas on one hand, and your personal blueprint, your Prakriti, on the other. So how do these two concepts connect? How do they actually come together to define what healthy means for you?
Okay, if you remember only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Health in Ayurveda is not about trying to get a perfect equal balance of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. That is a huge misconception. True health, real balance, is all about maintaining the specific, unique combination of doshas that you were born with, your Prakriti.
And what's super interesting is that most of us aren't just one single type. If you take a look at this chart, you can see that the vast majority of people have a dual dosha constitution, meaning two of the energies are dominant, like a Vata Pitta type. And that tridosha type, where all three are perfectly balanced, it's considered the ideal, sure, but it's also extremely rare. All right, so this all leads to the big so what question, right? Why does any of this blueprint stuff actually matter? How can knowing this possibly help you in your real day-to-day life?
Well, to put it simply, knowing your Prakriti is like finally getting the owner's manual for your own body. It lets you stop the guesswork, trying every new trend out there and start making choices that are specifically tailored to your unique system.
And this knowledge has some seriously practical applications. We're talking about personalizing your diet. So, a fiery Pitta person might do great with cooling foods, whereas an airy Vata person needs warm, grounding meals to feel their best. It can help you manage your lifestyle, understand what kinds of health issues you might be more susceptible to, and, maybe most importantly, it gives you the self-awareness to recognize when things are a little off before they turn into a full-blown illness.
And this really brings us back to the ultimate point here. Ayurveda is not about trying to change your fundamental nature. The goal is never to force a creative, energetic Vata type to become a slow, stable Kapha type. The whole point is to understand your innate blueprint and then make choices that honor it. It's about keeping you in your unique state of equilibrium.
So what this all means is that health isn't some universal finish line that we all have to cross in the exact same way. It's deeply, deeply personal. It's about discovering and then maintaining your balance. And Ayurveda's Tridosha theory, it gives you a powerful and honestly a very logical framework to help you do just that. So the real question is, are you ready to learn the science of you?